to the Kid Ankh Ageplay podcast. Okay, so we're going to have a bit of a discussion here today about the overuse of the term pedophile, um, exaggerations that were made up about the babyfur community, and how, like, the political zeitgeist has led to a situation that I clearly said was going to happen years ago. So let's just go, right? So we'll talk about the situation at hand. The first thing that happened is that there was a con called Megaplex. Megaplex had 16 panels that were being run by an age play community, and it was age play panels that were 18 plus. Now, nothing there was sexual, nothing there had anything to do with anybody. But what happened is that they had these panels there at the con where people could come in, color, and have like time in little space, and it was a safe space for them, right? Only to have a bunch of fucking furries that wanted to get views on TikTok go out there and start making up shit in order to try to gain views, and claim that the 16 panels were taking over the con, and this is horrible, and they are promoting predators and blah blah blah. Yeah, so basically the same shit Fox News does, right? So they did this, and people saw and were like, what are you all doing? That's not true. It is true. And you all just need to accept it but you all are just supporting predators. Oh, okay. And then when people combated these folks, their exact response was, well, just block me, brah. Just block me. I don't know if it's just been the fact that I've been dealing with a lot of shit in the last 10 years that all sounds extremely similar to this, especially the shit that happened 5 years ago, the nonsense with the group of popular kids from 1 year ago that was going on within that 5 years, or the bullshit that we have all seen for the last 10 years. I don't know. I just lost a little bit of taste and flavor for this type of shit. It's because a lot of the people that are doing this are fucking incompetent, and they're doing this for views, right? Because what better way to fish for views than outrage? Mind you, they are in a community that literally was being fished for outrage. It makes no fucking sense when you think about it, right? Like, why are we continuing the fucking cycle? And this goes to show you why education's fucking important. Hope you fucking heard that, Binky. This is like why I said what I did years ago. This is why education is important, and why watching the education in this country go down to shit is what irritates the fuck out of me. It does, because no longer is it about like knowledgeable interaction as it is. It's just a prank, bruh. It's just a prank. I'm so fucking tired of these fucking asshats with fucking phone cameras going out and doing dumb shit so that they can be like, oh, make sure to hit the like button. I can't fucking stand that shit. By the way, make sure you hit the like button on my. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. I thought it would be appropriate. I'm just joking. You don't have to hit the like button. I don't care. I ain't getting paid for this shit anyway. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. It's one of those things that really gets to me, right? It does, because the lack of education is the reason why we're in the situation that we are. The fact that things were glamorized without any explanation is the reason of why we are. The fact that you have popular kids who don't pay attention to the fact that they are popular and that they have the ear of the community at the time. That I'm not talking about last year's incident. I'm just saying But the fact that they have the fact that they have the ear of the community at the time is a major fucking thing. It's a problem. It's seriously a problem. It's one of those things that really bother the fuck out of me. It does. It bothers the fuck out of me. We need to actually like start acting like adults again at some fucking point. And actually start realizing, this behavior is actually probably not the best way to go about society, go about living in society. Maybe this isn't the best way to approach anything. Because it's not. It's not the best way to approach anything. Constantly being a piece of shit is not a good way to approach life. Especially when you're making disingenuous arguments that make no fucking sense. I'm going to tell you, now, before I get into the disingenuous arguments, because that's going to be the third part of this, right? I want to talk about here the overuse of the term pedophile. Back in 2016, a lot of people started getting more involved with what is called 4chan tactics. 4chan tactics and 4chan and /8chan conversational memes, where when you're losing a conversation, you call someone the N-word, or you just say you're a fucking pedophile, or call someone a pedophile just to end the conversation. That's what they do. This is where it came from. This type of behavior was on 4chan, it was on 8chan, and then Tumblr got involved on that over time, because their conversation ender was just calling people a Nazi, rightfully or wrongfully. Now you're in a situation where there are actual legitimate Nazis and there are actual legitimate pedophiles, and no one cares, because these people were using it in such a way that has basically nulled the effect of what those words actually mean. And I back in the day even said, yo, stop doing that, because you're going to have a negative effect on what the word actually means, and people are not going to take you seriously anymore. And then when the day comes that there are fucking pedophiles and Nazis, nobody's going to do anything. Fast forward to today. You have pedophiles and Nazis walking among you. Look at the Epstein files. Look at the shit with the Epstein files. Look at the shit with the white supremacists that are walking through different states and doing their shit, marching, calling people the N-word, trying to start fights and stuff, and trying to get people to punch them. Look at the Chud the Builder shit. Look at that type of shit. Again, look where you are, right? The Nazis and the white supremacists and the pedophiles are all right there. And the effect of saying that no longer has the same effect, does it? Because everybody was using it just to attack one another. See how fucking stupid that was? It's not like people did not warn each other about this. It was constantly said. No one listened. Because everyone was more into the sports of rah team, me hate other team. It's the Steelers versus, as my friend once told me, it's the Steelers versus the Browns. That's what it is. It's goofy shit. No one actually gives a fuck about politics in actuality. They just give a fuck when they feel that they are a part of something. That's just the truth. When they feel that they are a part of something, that's when they give a fuck. And they only give a fuck because they want to hurt the other person or feel like they belong somewhere. In actuality, no one gives a fuck what the fuck happens with politics. Because if that was the case, people would care a lot more about the shit that's going on. I'm just telling you it like it is. Getting back to what I was saying before. This is why the effect of this has gone down, right? And now you have people in the furry community doing the exact same fucking shit. The exact same fucking shit. calling people pedophiles and predators, and when it's not actually accliable to the situation, or applicable to the situation. Let's just say that, yeah, applicable to the situation instead of the me saying trying to say applicable. Well. Anyway, yeah, it's not applicable to the situation, but they still use it anyway. Still calling people predators because they don't understand what it is that they are looking at. And that's the thing. Like, let me put it this way, right? What was for those of you that are millennials, you grew up during the 90s, you're a 90s kid, you watched the X-Men. What was the key sentence they always said? People fear what they don't understand. They always said that. ABDL and age play is still not well understood. It's not. Even though there are people like myself out there trying our best to try to teach and explain it to people, it's still not understood. Now, I like to talk about the disingenuous arguments that were made. Let's talk about that, right? So they were claiming that the baby furs are predatory and that they sexualize baby items and shit. Okay. Let's roll that back, right? We're going to take each one of their claims and we're going to run it against the furry community, right? That's what we're going to do. And we're going to hit them with their own exact argument right back at them. Right? Okay. So, first was they are predatory. How? How are they predatory? You're not having a panel that's about coloring books is not predatory, especially when it's an 18 plus panel. They did not invite anyone underneath that age. So, and they were checking IDs. So how the fuck is that predatory? Explain. Well, they sexualize baby items. And I had to pause on that one because that one was really fucking stupid. Okay, let's talk about some shit, right? Let's really talk about some shit. You are talking about them sexualizing baby items. I've never met an AB that sexualized a baby item. They like looking cute. They like sucking on bottles. They like sucking on pacifiers. They like wearing baby clothes and stuff like that. But not all of them are sexual. And even when they are sexual, it's more of a subspace. You should understand that because isn't pup played a part of the furry community too? You guys literally have pup meets there. And I saw the exact same type of people that were arguing about the baby furs rushing to these pup play meets. So what the fuck are you talking about? And the last time I checked, aren't you wearing a BDSM pup hood? So wouldn't that mean that you are fucking sexualizing a dog? Oh, are you are you into bestiality? Are you really like wanting to fuck a dog? By the way, you want to claim about predatory shit, right? Let's go back to the predatory thing. You all are literally dressing up in cartoon character, anthropomorphic cartoon character costumes, right? Anthropomorphic cartoon characters. Okay, so does that mean that you're a pedophile because you're over here trying to sexualize this cartoon character? Or even yet, why are you dressing up like a cartoon character, right? Why are you doing that? Like the last time I checked, Looney Tune cartoons and Saturday morning cartoons with anthropomorphic characters is usually for children. Want to know what's the funniest part? We Bear Bears. Yeah, that's a Cartoon Network fucking cartoon with fucking anthropomorphic characters. The regular show, even though that's barely a fucking children's show. But, like, what? Cow and chicken? What's this? What's this? And why are you wearing this? And why are you making it sexy, by the way? Why are you walking around in sexy attire? Like, why are you showing all your cleavage and shit? Why are you doing that? Are you trying to sexualize a cartoon character for a child? Hmm? Oh, wait, you made that character? That's even worse because it just seems like you purposely made it cartoonish so that you could sexualize it for children. Why are you trying to attract children with your fucking costume? See how bad that was? Do you see how I literally pulled all of that shit and literally like none of that is true. Let's just straight out fucking say this. None of that what I just said was true. Not a single bit of it. No fucking furry would ever fucking do that. None. However, every community does have its predators. I'm not going to say that they don't. Okay, Kid Ankh from the future here. I wanted to let you guys know that there's a part that was supposed to be in the podcast, but when I recorded it, I actually forgot to add this. So I wanted to bring up a very valid point. With the snake thing, I straight up said that it was 15 years. It's 25 years. Technically, it's 50 because it's 25 years in prison and 25 years of probation after the fact. Um, Also, Snake Thing, I believe, is one of the people that was when involved in that whole situation. I believe that that him or someone in that chat had said something about it's the Zoo Sadist chat is what I'm referring to. In subsequent videos that were on YouTube, there was a showing of a text message or Discord message or some shit where it was mentioned about a room and sedating a child and a dog. Yeah, that was an actual fucking thing. If you all really should go and look this stuff up. Look up the Cure of the Wolf incident. It is you can find it all over fucking YouTube because there's like hundreds of videos and at least somewhere in the range of 8 hours or more of content that talks about the situation with more and more information being released in every subsequent video. Go and actually research this and actually learn about it because this was one of the most major things to ever hit the furry community. And it was, and again, like not all furries agree with this. And when I say that, and when I say agree, I mean like they didn't try to protect these people. They didn't. They actually did fight against it and actually spoke up about the fact. So I want to be fair and let people understand that that did take place. That people did speak up. They did speak out. But you did have people who were refusing to say anything because of the reasons that I say in the podcast. It is no different than what was happening in the ABDL community when we had the popular kids doing shit. When you had a lot of the people who wanted to be pick-me's and they came up with alternate history and then they came up with alternate facts and then they would come up with every excuse in the books for them not to stand against those people, especially after they had done something heinous. That's one of the things that irritated me about that, and it irritates me about the furry community as well. Like you have alleged facts that come out and people not wanting to take like precautions, and it's like, what the fuck? Well, they were nice to me. I don't understand that type of shit. Um, Another factor that I also somehow forgot in the podcast, there is something I would like to bring up, right? So I said that there are situations in which you get the worst situation and you use that to describe an entire community. For some reason, people don't understand that lone wolves exist, and that's probably due to the political fact that anytime that there was like a political or school shooting, the first thing that was used was lone wolf. So over time, people would hear that and then they stop believing it because it like people can be dumb, right? But cognitively, a lot of people like consciously people pay attention to these different type of keywords and trigger words. and they start turning their brain off to it because they know it's bullshit, but they either don't care about the bullshit or they are sidetracking it for their own needs. So in this particular case, I would like to actually bring up the fact of lone wolves. You have people who are not a part of the community. Community is when you go to events. Community is when you attend munches and stuff like that, right? If you are not in that community, then you are not a part of the community. You are what would be a non-com or lone wolf, as I would say in this particular case. You would be not a part of the community. Now, does that mean that all non-coms are terrible people? No. Again, there are just terrible people that exist. And people need to start being able to differentiate that. There are terrible people that exist. And not everybody that's associated with that person, or I shouldn't say associated, because that's depending. Communities that happen to be associated with the kink that the person has specifically, I'm not talking about like actual illegal shit. I mean like things like BDSM or ABDL or stuff like that, right? People that are a part of a kink does not mean that everyone in that kink is that type of person, or that they agree with them, or that they support them. That is not the case. Many times over, you will find out that communities such as BDSM and kink communities as a whole will ostracize these people. They will ban them from events. They will warn their communities about these people. They will tell friends, family, everything, and be like, yo, watch out for this motherfucker because this person did X, Y, or Z. They do that. That's what irritates me about the entire situation that's going on right now. Is that prejudice took over and not actual fact. And a lot of these people started claiming about predatory action without anything fucking happening because of the fact that they don't understand. This is why I keep saying, and I press this shit. It is absolutely fucking essential that education is out there for those that are new to the community. So you don't have situations like this. So you don't have shit like the glamour girl era. So that you don't have shit like that comes around every few years with the age read people. That is why this is important. Oh wow! Thank you. I want to say thank you to a friend because I almost forgot that to add this. I forgot to give an example of a lone wolf. Yo, let's talk about this. The lone wolf situation. Let's have a really good conversation about that because you have a lot of lone wolves that end up appearing in different situations, and yet the people always use them to try to poster child the entire fucking community to them, and it irritates the fuck out of me. Like America has this culture to do this, and I don't know why it's there, but it's been prominent since 9/11 because I lived in New York City at that time because I lived in New York City for 20 years of my life. And I've lived in Pennsylvania for going on another 20 years. But I really want to talk about this because this is one of those things that really got to me. What really pisses me off. There was a situation where there was some dude. I gotta look up the name, but he ended up getting caught by one of the guys that tried to catch EDP a while ago. I just happened to watch the EDP documentary, and I happened to notice that it was the same guy. But the one of the predator catcher guys that was trying to catch EDP, he caught this dude they did a sting with the police where they caught this dude who was trying to solicit a 12-year-old, and he was wearing a diaper, and you had people that were like, see, that's why those adult babies are predators. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, okay, because that one fucking person that you have no clue whether they have an affiliation to a community group or anything like that is somehow the entire community's fault. That is fucking stupid. Let me explain something to you. This is why I have a whole fucking issue with how prejudiceness works in the kink community and outside of the kink community. Let me give you a little bit of history of how shit actually works in America, because America is a real bad habit of doing this type of shit. Yo, when 9/11 first happened, right? After 9/11 happened. So after it happened, what took place in New York City? Prejudiceness. Immediately. Now, mind you, we have had Muslim people driving fucking cars. We have had Sikh people driving fucking taxis. This is Muslim, Islamic, Sikh. We've had them all driving taxis. For years, they were like the primary people that you saw driving a fucking taxi. And guess what the fucking community thought to do? Guess what the fuck, New York thought was a great fucking idea to do? They decided to blame all of those fucking people for what just took fucking place. How many of those taxi drivers were shot from the back of their car? That they had to start putting up fucking bulletproof glass. How many fucking people were over here getting fucking cabs and seeing a cab and going and shooting these people? This was a thing that was taking place. If you need to educate your fucking self on prejudiceness, go and look at the fucking fact that was taking place at a fucking point in time. For those of you that are old enough to remember 9/11 and remember the after effect, what happened after that, you would know what I am saying is fucking true. How many times, hey, for those of you that live in New York, those of you who have lived your lives in New York City the same way that I did for 20 motherfucking years, how many of you actually sat there and fucking actually heard your parents, your neighbors, people that are random on the fucking street go over there and say, oh, these fucking terrorists? How many people and how many times did you fucking hear that? Prejudiceness is a fucking culture in this goddamn country. It is so fucking stupid that people spend their fucking time bringing up prejudiced fucking facts on every goddamn person, but refuse to say any goddamn thing if the person has white skin. That goes for the furry community, it goes for the ABDL community, it goes for the kink community. If it wasn't for the fact that you have good people in those communities that go out there and force these people to have to deal with these type of situations and force them to have to face the music and force for there to be repercussions, then you probably wouldn't have that. There will only be repercussions if that person's skin is dark. Now, some of you are going to be like, oh, well, why does race have anything to do with this? Because it always does. I've said it in previous episodes too. I've said it in previous episodes about this. Again, you have these people that go out here and try to claim that they give a damn about any of the fucking facts that they throw out there without any fucking evidence or any type of fucking research. But you want to know what the fuck they do afterwards? They start yelling, well, block me, bruh, block me. Like I said in the podcast. Like I said, they always have this fucking thing where they are so fucking dedicated to absolute nonsense. They are always looking for a scapegoat. They are always looking for the next person to crucify. Whether it is rightfully or wrongfully, they don't care. First off, how do you know that this asshole is an adult baby? First off, because he could easily have just been a guy that has a diaper fetish. Like there are DLs that exist, homie. It's, second, why does that necessarily put them in that bad light? They have nothing to do with this guy. They're not some grand organization. That's not what they are. They are a community of people, different people. There are people in communities that do terrible things, but again, those people are dealt with by those communities. I'm not going to go back into that, but I've already given the explanation to that. Next, I have a question my next question is, right? How, like, he doesn't seem like he's a part of a community at all. So why are we poster childing that? What people don't fucking understand is that just because someone is into something does not mean that everybody into the same thing is exactly the same thing. So let's break that down a little bit, right? The reason why you have people that will always mark the worst possible thing to something that they don't understand is because of the fact that people are naturally prejudiced to things that they don't get, things that they don't understand, things that are far outside of the norm or are outside of their norms. It doesn't necessarily have to not be normal. It just has to be not normal for that particular person. That's really how it goes. The problem is that you have people that are wise enough to understand that. Excuse me. There are people wise enough to understand that, and they understand that it's one of those things that are, I don't know how to put this. There are people that are wise enough to understand that, and they will go out and learn more. But then there are people who are just like intellectually, they have no intellectual curiosity. And because of that, they won't go and learn. And because of that, they'll continue to prejudice this. This is why you have situations like this. Here's a prime example of this. Let's say you have a basketball player. Said basketball player goes out, kills somebody. Goes out, commits pedophilia. Guess what happens? You do not get an entire group of people that will go out there and say that all football players are pedophiles. People don't jump to that conclusion. You know what they'll say? Oh, it was just that one guy. But let's say that you have something like kink or furry conventions or anime conventions. First thing they'll say is, you see, that entire culture is of fucking predators. What? Wait. So you don't think that way for the basketball player and basketball, but you'll think about that for everything else. You lack it's a lack of both intellectual curiosity and intellectual sensibility, because people feel that it's better to be dumb and it should be celebrated. They are celebrating mediocrity. Honestly, I hate to say it, but there was some what was his name? Vivek, I think Vivek Ramaswamy made that comment about how people, specifically conservatives, celebrate like mediocrity. But if you think about it, yeah, that's kind of true, because that's what they do. They do celebrate mediocrity, and mediocre thinking is exactly that. These are the same people that will strive to tell you about how much of a man they are, how much that, like, pumping themselves full of testosterone because they don't feel like men, or how everybody needs to do what they're telling them to do in order for them to feel like men. It's no fucking different. And I know that some people are like, why did he go into a political talk about that? Because that mindset does transfer. It does. That I am explaining to you why the normies have the prejudiced views that they do. And it is also why people that come into these communities that start espousing the same nonsense why they have the same thought process that they do. They're all the fucking same. No matter where you go, no matter what you say or what you do or how you try to hide from different political standings and shit, it is now permeated into everything. It is. It's permeated into everything. It's going to take some years before you can have that, before you'll ever get what existed back in like 2009. It's going to take years. And people need to start realizing that. But continuing on, prejudiceness is something that does exist. And these people will always take the worst example and push it forward to be the definition of an entire community versus the one person that did something. However, let there be something like a political shooting or something that will harm what they like to do. So exactly like, for instance, like what you like going out and shooting, right? And firing guns. Gun control, oh, what the fuck? Immediately, they're against that. What? There's a school shooting? Guess what? We need stricter gun laws. Fuck you. I guess they're just gonna have to die so I can hold whatever gun I want. See? See the difference? See, that's what I'm saying to you. No matter how you look at it, no matter how you shift or do anything in the kink community or any of your favorite communities, you will always hit this. You will always hit this type of thinking. And it's best for you to understand why this exists than to bury your head in the sand so that you don't pay attention to it. Problem comes from the misconstruction of what pedophilia is. Let's talk about this misconstruction. ABDL, like I said in the earlier parts of the podcast, has to do with adults, consenting adults. It has nothing to do with children. That's why I think it's so fucking weird. Okay, they play with toys. Okay, they might have a playroom, wear diapers and stuff like that. Where's the child that you all keep throwing the pedophilia allegations for? Where's the child? It's not pedophilia because they are not involving in a child. And then and I think that people again have been using the word pedophile for years. And they have been throwing it as conversational enders that they lost what the fucking meaning is. They lost what the meaning was. Pedophiles go out and they fuck with kids. ABDLs go out and they mess around with other adults. Where's the pedophilia? And then they'll go, well, it's implied. No, it's not implied. It's not implied. Because if you believe that that's an implication, then anything you do as far as role play is also an implication. Again, it is not implied. There is no children. And the ones that do go around and fuck around with children usually get reported, A. B, are usually on the news and shit. Communities put out bulletins to warn the entire communities about them. And they usually are ostracized from those communities. A lot of times they don't like to be a part of the community because they don't want to get caught. Because they know what the community will do to them if that was the case. Notice something, right? Notice something. When it comes to different communities, when it comes to different kinks and stuff, everyone always takes the worst possible example and use that to post the entire community. Why? Why? It doesn't make any fucking sense. And every time that they do it and you question it, they get mad for you questioning them on the fact that they did something like that. Think about this. Let's take the example of Skylar, right? Skylar was involved in the community, but all the comments that Skylar was making was online in a secret chat. And that secret chat got found out and got reported, and Skylar's in jail. Again, see what I am talking about? So why is it that we keep throwing that allegation out there and it doesn't, it's not, it's not what it is? And like, again, they keep using the word without knowing what it means. Are ABDLs weird? Yeah, we'll say they're weird. Yeah, they're weird. But is ABDL illegal? No, because it involves consenting adults. Again, it's just like CNC, right? You have people who like to partake in CNC, consensual non-consent. So there are rules. Both people are consenting to a situation that is role-playing a non-consent situation. Right? So, AKA rape. Does that mean that the person participating in the play is a rapist if he had consent to do it? Well, only rapists could fucking even bother to do something like that. Doesn't make any fucking sense. Because again, in order for it to be rape, it would have to be non-consensual, right? But there was consent there. So what the fuck are you talking about? Like the sheer fact that people bend themselves into pretzels for these things that don't comply is fucking stupid. Again, Americans are idiots. They are fucking dumb. It's like this is why the rest of the fucking world laughs at them. What was it? They were 23rd and they put 23rd on a fucking Fox, on a local Fox fucking newscast when they were talking about fucking education. They put TH on an RD. Like, what do you want me to fucking say? Again, you cannot, like, they're applying, and then when you explain this type of shit, they go, I don't care, I'm right. Then you weren't trying to act, you don't actually care about the situation. You just care that you can look for someone to persecute. This is the issue, and this is why I keep saying what I do. If you give a damn about anything that you are claiming is the big issue at the moment, then you should give a fucking damn about everything else. It makes no fucking sense that you are going to state something and be wrong about it and keep stating it. There is no fucking reason for that. Okay. So I think that is a perfectly good example of this type of shit. I got one more. There's another situation that's a bit goofy with this, right? Let's talk about we've talked about the Cure of the Wolf situation with Snake Thing and all of them, right? Those guys are considered lone wolves. They were a group or a community amongst themselves. They are not what you would call really a subculture of furry kink or furry culture. They are more of a subculture of dangerous people. Now, I like the fact that the argument here could be made about picking and choosing, right? But if the majority of the community is not that, you can't apply the same thing. Because it's so let's play with this a little bit, right? Those people were in a chat for people that were into zoo sadism. They were into pedophilia, they were into necrophilia, they were into zoophilia. They were legitimately injuring dogs, cats, and everything else under the sun. Mainly, I think mainly dogs and deer. Like one of them was fucking a dead deer's body. Yeah. And that, I think that guy didn't even get caught either, even though that there was a chat where he actually admitted to killing two puppies by having them choking on. He killed two puppies by having them choke on his cock, is what he said. That was actually in his fucking messages. Again, this is what I am talking about. This is what I am talking about. You have those type of people that do those terrible things, and then you'll have the exact same type of people that went after the babyfurs go out there and start saying that all of the fucking furries are fucking predators, because we literally watched that happen. We did. Fox News. So Fox News kept attacking these people, right? And they created these situations where it was where they were just saying things about these people and using it to farm outrage to garner votes for the right wing. Look at right now. We actually have a situation right now where you have politicians and Fox News and all of them claiming that schools are trying to teach these kids that they can be cats and blah 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 and live like dogs. And then all of a sudden, and using furries as the example, right? But they are not telling you why the fuck the kid now, and this is all over kitty litter being in a classroom. That's what it's for. It's all about kitty litter being in a classroom. And mind you, the whole fucking reason for the kitty litter is because if there is a school shooting, no one can go to the bathroom. What are you going to do? You're going to go out there and ask the school shooter, hey, Mr. Shooter, please don't shoot me. I have to use the bathroom. Pause, time out. That's not how the fuck that works. But for some fucking reason, people don't understand that. So the immediate thought was, see, they're making them be cats. It's brain dead thought. And since you have a lot of stupid people, they believe this shit. You have dumbasses that believe this shit. I wouldn't be surprised if some of the parents of the people listening to this podcast, because I know that some of you guys have parents that think like this. Tell me, how many of your parents believe that type of shit? Because they're not putting any fucking forethought, because they're intellectually lazy. Again, I'm not trying to diss your parents. I'm just literally saying this is the mindset of people that live in this country that are literally brain dead. This is why I say the lack of intellectual curiosity is a fucking problem. Again, the kitty litter is just there for if there is a lockdown situation and the kids have to lock down into a classroom and they have to pee. The easiest place for them to go would be where? To that litter box. Because at least you're not pissing on the floor, and because you don't know how long you have to be there. You don't know if you have to sleep in that building. You don't know how fast the person will be stopped. Hell, you don't even know if the person's going to break into the room. This is the easiest way for them to be able to protect themselves. It is the easiest way for them to be able to if there is a situation where they have to use the bathroom, they can use the kitty litter, and that's it. They can pee on the kitty litter. At least it's not on the fucking floors, and it's not creating a contamination situation. Again, where are they going to pee? In a corner? Corners of the room aren't safe because you don't know where, who has view to what by any of the doors. This is why I say what I do. People need to start fucking thinking about this, because that's a scary fucking situation. That is a horribly scary situation. People need to actually be cognizant of these type of fucking things that happen. All right. So, yeah. Thank you for joining me for the podcast. I will catch you all later.